Hey VC, welcome back. It's Hub Tunes. I'm Mike. I'm gonna do some vinyl finds. Had not a lot, well, enough, um, but I went way over budget this week. But that's not an uncommon occurrence, really, is it? No beer on this Sunday afternoon. Had a few too many martinis last night, or as Mazzy would call them, vodka martinis. I don't like martinis. I like vodka martinis. So let's just kick it right off and get moving. Oh, last week I showed this record. I hadn't listened to it at the time. This is phenomenal. Any jazz fan should have this in their collection. Absolutely phenomenal. For the Hampton Haws with Barney Kessel, Shelly Manne, Red Mitchell. Fantastic. It's on Contemporary. This is a Japanese pressing on Contemporary, which I just said. Really highly recommended. This is spectacular. So if you can find a copy of this, I don't know what OGs go for. I'm guessing a lot. But pick that up. It's a fantastic record. Okay, a few little things I found. I picked this up because I did not have it on vinyl in my collection. Love and Rockets, Seventh Dream of the Teenage Heaven. Great album. For some reason I didn't have it. This kind of came out in the CD age. I know I had it on CD for years, but yeah, sounds good. Got it at a reasonable price. This one was a find. This is my find of the week. This is Destroy All Astromen, Man or Astroman. Fantastic record. Sounds phenomenal. Picked it up at my local shop up in Evanston, Illinois. It is a doozy. I love this album. This is recorded live, so this is great. Terrific album. I was going through some records earlier in the week, and I needed to upgrade my Stevie Wonder interventions, so I threw on the vinyl last week, and it had some pops, and I cleaned it as best I could, and there was no way it wasn't getting clean. So I decided I'd pick up this reissue from a few years ago. I mean, this is my favorite Stevie album. Absolutely my favorite. And I don't know. I'm not going to call out the shop I bought it from. I got it. I think I got it on eBay. These are really nice done. It's a great pressing. It sounds wonderful, but I don't know, the packaging. When I went to the mailbox, it was dinged up quite a bit, and you could hear it moving around, and that's never a good sign. And you probably can't see, but it's quite bent up, especially right here. I guess it's kind of the price you pay when you're doing eBay and you don't know the shipper, and it's disappointing. So when you guys are out there shipping stuff, make sure it doesn't move. It's disappointing. The vinyl sounds great. The pressing is good. Came with a download card, which you don't see as much anymore. Those are starting to go by the wayside, I think. But $20. I don't know. A little disappointed, to be honest. I finally picked up one of my favorite jazz albums of all time. I have an original of this, but this is the half-speed remaster of it, and it is smoking. This is Wynton Kelly Trio with Wes Montgomery, Smoking at the Half Note. Terrific album. Any jazz fan needs this. This is fantastic. I love Wynton Kelly. He's one of my favorite pianists, and it sounds phenomenal. Two more jazz things that I picked up. If you guys are not familiar with International Anthem, they're a record company out of Chicago, and this is really cool. It is Desron Douglas and Brandy Younger. It's terrific. It's harp based, and I like some harp. This is fantastic. It doesn't get too out there. It's not real free jazz, It's a beautiful, beautiful album. I highly recommend this. Anything on this label is terrific. Micaiah McCraven is on this, I believe, and all his albums are terrific too. So yeah, if you see their stuff, pick it up, and it's not super expensive. I think this was $28. Not bad. A beautiful record, absolutely beautiful. I got to see the last time I was in New York for work. I went over to Birdland and I got to see Ravi Coltrane, and he had a harp player with him on that tour because he was doing a lot of covers of his mom's stuff, and I was blown away. I had never really been into harp before, and I mean, this woman, I don't know who she was. I should have got a name, but she was phenomenal. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous music. Then I picked up this. This is Freddie Hubbard, Curtis Fuller, and Yusuf Lateef. It's called Getting It Together. It's okay. It's nothing to write home about. There's a couple of songs that I really liked, but then I have a thing about jazz artists when they fade out songs at the end. I don't know, am I the only one? There's just something weird about that. So and there's about 4 songs on here where that occurs, and I don't know, it just kind of, yeah. It was only $6. Can't complain. Then I realized, this is where I got in trouble this week. I realized I don't have any Elvis in my collection. Not sure why. I like Elvis. I don't dislike him. So this came out, the Analog Production 24 karat hits, living stereo. It sounds absolutely unreal. This thing sounds phenomenal. It's on 3 discs. It's got a nice little lyric sheet that no one can actually read because that font is unbelievably small. It's really good. I threw it on this morning when I woke up and just to hear it, and it's great. It sounds really good, and it's got everything. It's got, I mean, if it's an Elvis song, it's on here. It's really good. So yeah, I picked this up. It was not, I mean, it wasn't cheap, I'll be honest, but this is the only Elvis I need. And now I'm set. I need no more Elvis in my collection. And then it got crazy. I needed to fill out my Dire Straits because I have the first one, and I have Making Movies. So I was like, well, why don't I have Communique, the original master recordings from MoFi, Half Speed. Not their best album. I much prefer the first one. The first one's a terrific album. But Mark Knopfler does some really good guitar work on here. Actually, Communique, the title track, is one of my favorite Dire Straits songs. So it's worth it for me just to have that. But he does some really good guitar work on here. It's a little underrated, but compared to the first one, it's not even close. I love the first album, and that's the first 4 are classics, right up to Love Over Gold, and after that, you can keep everything else. Then, here we go. Boom. Original master recording, MoFi, of the Grateful Dead Skull and Roses. The live album. Getting some glare. A live album, I believe 1972? I'm not sure. It's a pretty low number. I found this online. It's under 1,000. I think it's out of print. I haven't. The MoFi websites are so crazy. I don't even know. I think I've mentioned before. I actually live really close to Music Direct. They're actually right down the street from me, and I never knew they were there. And I lived there for 15 years, and I never knew they were in this warehouse building. And one day I looked at their address online, and I was like, wait, that's just 2 blocks away. They frown upon picking up stuff because they're a mail order warehouse. That's all they're set up for. But sometimes I wander over and try and pick up my orders early. And I also picked up MoFi, the band's first album. my favorite band album. Great. Just a great album. It's got, I mean, everyone probably knows what's on here. Terrific album. Across the Great Divide, Rag Mama, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, Up on Cripple Creek, Jeremiah Surrender, I love that song. Rockin' Chair, yeah, King Harvest is on here. Terrific album, the band. Then I was on Instagram and I noticed I got an alert or notification or something that MoFi had a few things back in stock. So I picked up the Linda Ronstadt Heart Like a Wheel, her best album, my favorite Linda Ronstadt, one of the biggest albums of the 70s. I think I showed this in my International Women's Month video. It's on MoFi. Had to pick it up. Really reasonable too. I think it was only like $32, which isn't bad. Not bad at all. And then I picked up this, one of my favorite albums of all time, probably my second favorite album of all time. It's back in stock for 5 minutes on the website. The Pretenders' first album. You guys probably know it. One of the great punk rockish albums of all time. One of my favorites. They never came closer to this after that. And the last one I picked up also, the band, live with Bob Dylan. Terrific live set. I know some people don't really care for this, but I love it. I had this on CD for ages. It's a wonderful, wonderful record, and it sounds pretty good. I haven't listened to this copy yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be hot. And that was my MoFi. Sorry, getting some messages here. That's about it. That's not much going on. Things are kind of quiet. Working like crazy and didn't have a lot of online time, which is good. I stayed off eBay and I stayed off Discogs for 1 week. We'll see what happens next week. You guys stay safe. Questions, comments, snide remarks in the comment section. Again, thank you to all my subscribers. We're getting some pretty good views. We're not getting a lot of subscribers, so we got to keep at it, stick with it. And I have a couple videos coming. I'm going to do a contest entry, and probably going to do a room tour this week, so you guys can see what's behind you. And I will see you soon. Take care, stay safe.